Yo, what is up? Welcome to Ninja Geek Games. Dragons have risen and torched the local city, and the various guilds have been charged with rebuilding it, with the most competent earning the Queen's favour. So, what's your role in restoring the city? Well, Guildlands from Outset is an asymmetric 2 to 6 player tile laying game where you take on the role of one of the mighty guilds of Ferrenford, attempting to connect and control certain areas of the city. Each of the guilds in the game has a generic set of actions that they can take, as well as those specific to the speciality. And each player has a unique way that they score endgame victory points that's dependent on the layout of the city. Let's take a look. So the basis of the game is that players select tiles from a market area and place them anywhere on the board, connecting them to other tiles. Or they can choose to rotate tiles if this benefits your scoring, and these are the basic actions. Now, you start the game with some coin, but when you place a tile, if you create an unbroken road of 3 tiles with the same colour icon, you can gain another, and these allow you to take another action. So, pretty standard so far, but each guild also has a set of special actions that you can take. They're all able to place and move workers along connected roads. Now, I haven't found a benefit from this action, and I don't find myself moving them often. Their only real use is to prevent other players from rotating tiles they occupy or reserving them for their own special actions, but as you only get 2 workers and a load of tiles, you can easily sit and wait for a similar tile to appear in the market later. Now, there are a set of unique special actions for each guild, and these generally set up your endgame scoring, and I'll go over them briefly. The Druids Guild are looking to connect standing stone icons to form complete circles and then place their shrine on them. This also allows them to score points for half-finished stones, as well as any stone icons located along the cross-section representing cardinal directions, which is pretty thematic. The Tile Collectors can place a bridge over a tile gap or broken road and score VPs for creating long roads, and get a few more if their road starts and finishes on a tile with a statue, which is pretty hard to do. The Wizards can move other players' workers as well as place these towers. The idea for scoring is that you get VPs for any towers and wizard icons that form squares or rectangles. Now, as each icon can help form multiple squares but are only scored once, it can be very difficult to track those that have scored at the end of the game. The City Watch place wall tokens at edge tiles, and as the city grows and enlarges, these towers will be retrieved and replaced during play. At the end of the game, the City Watch player scores VPs for their blue icons located at the edge of the map, with bonus points for any walls connecting them. The merchants can place pop-up markets and score VPs for different adjacent guild icons, as well as contiguous connections of their own icons, with a few sneaky bonuses if these scoring tiles have statues. Lastly, the gardeners place fountains in gaps within the city and score points for connecting gardens as well as trees adjacent to the fountains. That's it. The game ends when all tiles have been placed and each player scores for their own guild. So, a pretty simple game where the scoring could take as long as the gameplay. The rules are very basic, so players pick it up quite quickly, but for a light game it can be a challenge to play to your endgame requirements, and in the higher player counts it's really difficult to assess who's doing well or even consider your own achievements. I mean, even in 2-player games I just kept to myself and left the other player alone while I concentrated on my own game. Although a bit of a kerfuffle, I did like the fact that each guild scores the game in a unique way, as they felt fairly thematic. At the least, with each player of a different guild, you're looking at the game from another angle, but you don't get many playing pieces for each. They all get 2 workers, and I rarely use them as they just block other players from rotating tiles or placing their tokens on them. Also, for the other specialist tokens, each faction gets between 1 and 4 pieces to play with, and apart from the walls, once placed, they're set for the rest of the game. Coins allow you to take extra actions, and I make use of this far more often than moving the workers, so laying those connecting rows of matching icons was important. Here you could use coin to rotate tiles, then place, or place first then rotate and place one of your scoring pieces. This is quite important for the gardeners, as placing a fountain token in a gap surrounded by 4 other tiles is tricky, so you need those extra actions. Also, each player board mentions towers, gardens, wizards towers for examples, but those rules don't specifically mention that these refer to tile icons on the map. You only understand this from the reverse side of the player boards that show the examples for scoring, and I just think this could have been clearer. Overall, it's a light tile-laying game where the complexity comes with assuring you're playing to your winning conditions that's sometimes hard to keep track of. Therefore, it can be seen as a bit of a brain burner if you enjoy that. Also, the guilds are pretty balanced, and I thought that was encouraging, and I don't really mind which I use when I play. Teaching multiple new players is fine for the basic rules, but then you have to teach 5 other scoring mechanics, which can be a bit of a drag, but for those I've played with, they've picked it up no problem. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. This is Ninja Geek Games. Cheers.